Hello, Year 3, and welcome back to Monday morning's maths lesson. And you've got me for the week, so lucky you guys. So as Mr. Kellum started off on Friday, we are starting to look at column addition, and then we will move on to column subtraction. And I've no doubt some of you thought last week, oh, I can whiz through these. I know what I'm doing. I can do this. I'm really whizzing through these, especially when you're doing your written method. But what we're looking for is that by using the concrete, so the manipulative, so the pens, okay, and using those sort of things, that shows your deeper meaning. So I think whereas some of you might feel that you're going backwards, okay, and having to use all those different things because you don't quite get it, actually it's the opposite. By being able to use the manipulatives and being able to draw the things pictorially, you're actually showing your deeper understanding, because you're showing that you're really able to really show why we have to exchange and why we are doing that and what that means numerically, okay, and what that means for our place value. So it may feel like we're not going quick enough for some of you, okay? But I do promise that by doing it this way, you are really showing a really deeper understanding. Now, because we're doing column addition, I've done some videos in our PowerPoint. So I'm really hoping that they work for us today. So we need to keep our fingers crossed, because it was a little bit tricky and it messed with my mind a little bit when I was doing it. So let's hope that everything works and we don't have to do 47 takes to send this across to you. So you can see that our learning objective today is to use column addition to add two two-digit numbers. Okay, and to be successful today, we're going to be able to use manipulative equipment to show understanding of column addition. Okay, and then that links to being able to use the formal method of column addition. Okay, and we're also going to be exchanging. So let's have a look. So what I want you to do, okay, 43 plus 29. Now, some of you might be looking at that straight away and be able to have the answer. You're one of these really clever people who can partition in your head. Okay, but what I want you to think about is how you are going to do this concrete. Okay, and by concrete, you know by now that that means the things that you can see, like your pens, like your Lego pieces, like your cars. Okay, so I want you to have a go at doing it concrete. Then you're going to have a go at doing it pictorially, and then you're going to show me the abstract. Okay, so you can pause the video here and have a go at doing those three different ways. Okay, this is where the videoing starts. So I'm going to show you how I did this with my manipulatives, with my concrete materials. Okay, so first of all, I need to check that I've got the right number of things. So I've counted my tens column and I've counted my ones column, and I've got 43 there. Then I need to do the same for my second number. So I've got 2 tens, so I've got 20, and I'm counting my ones, and I have got 9 ones. So I've got the right number of manipulatives. So which is the first column I'm going to look at? Well, the first column I look at is the ones column. Okay, and I need to add my ones column. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now you'll see on here, I've actually lined up my ones, okay, a bit like Numicon. Okay, so do you remember the big blue Numicon is 10, isn't it? So to make it easier for ourselves, okay, and so that we can subitize, and subitize is that brilliant word that means we can just look at some objects and we know straight away how much they are. So really try hard to be able to line up your ones, okay, so that it makes it easier to see what we've got. So straight away, I can see I've got 110 already. So I need to exchange my 110, my 10 ones for 110. Okay, and that is the red pen that I've popped at the bottom because my visualizer wouldn't fit it all on. Okay, so now I've got 2 ones left over, and I now need to count my tens column. So I've got 4 tens there, 40, 50, 60, 70, because I need to remember that 110 at the bottom. So I've now got 72, and that is my answer, I'm thinking, 72. So I need to go on to the next slide, Mr. Pledger. There we go. So now I've done my concrete, I need to have a go at doing this pictorially. Okay, and this is where, okay, I need to make sure that I've got in my head, okay, how we would have that laid out, because by laying it out really neatly is really going to help when you have it in your books or on your piece of paper. So here, okay, I've got my tens column and I've got my ones column. So my tens column, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, which is 40, and I've got my 3. I've then got 2 more tens, which is my 20. And can you see how I'm still laying it out how you would expect to see Numicon? So I'm starting with my ones column again, and I'm adding up my tens. Now I'm stopping here because I've got 110. So I'm going to draw a circle around it, trying really hard to stay neat. Okay, and I'm going to take that into my tens column and exchange it for 110. Okay, I've now got 2 left over, 2 ones left over, but I still need to count my tens. So if I count my tens, I've got 70 plus my additional 1 that I've exchanged. 60 plus my additional 1 that I've exchanged. So I have got 72. Okay, really quick way of checking. Now I've got my formal written method. So I've got my 43 and my 29 all lined up properly, putting my equal sign in there. So 3 plus 9 is 12. I'm carrying that 1, 10. And 40 plus 20 plus another 10 is 70. So there we go. I've got 43 plus 29 is 27, and I've carried my 10. Okay, here is another one for you. This is your practice it. Okay, so we're going to skip one stage now. We're going to skip the concrete and we're going to move straight on to the pictorial and the column method. So you are going to have a go at writing that. First of all, pictorial, okay? And I can't stress enough, this is showing your deeper understanding, okay? This is the trickier bit. Some people will think this is the bit that shows they've not got the understanding, but that's not true at all, okay? The real understanding is because you can show it in a pictorial form, okay? So pause the video here and have a go at doing your practice it. Okay, so I've got my 76 plus 15 on here. I've got it here to remind me what it was. Okay, so I'm going straight on with my pictorial. So I've got my tens column and my ones column. I've got my 7 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I've got my 6 ones. Okay, and I'm adding 1 more 10 and 5 more ones. Still laying it out so that I can really quickly see how easy it is. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to stop there and put a circle around my tens. Okay, and I'm going to put another 1 in my tens column. So now I've only got 1 1. I can then go to my tens column. I've got 70 tens plus 1 10 is 80, but then I've got to remember that other 10 that I've exchanged. So I've now got 90 tens altogether. Okay, and if we go on to our formal method, oh, not onto the hundreds yet, Mrs. Pledger, that's next time's lesson. I've got my tens and my ones. 76 plus 15. And my equal sign, 6 plus 5 is, I count on, 11. 7 plus 8, don't forget that extra 1, that extra 10 is 9. Okay, so I've got the same answer for both of those. Yes, this one's quicker. Okay, but we want to see both methods in your work. Okay, got one more practice it for you to have a go at. Pause this, and we want to see pictorial and we want to see column addition. Okay, we've got another video. Here we go, 29 plus 51. I should do this on the quick one, shouldn't I? On the one that time-lapse one. So I'm writing out my ones so that if I looked at that, it looks a little bit like Numicon, doesn't it? I've got my 5 tens and I've got 1 1 this time. Now I've counted up my ones. Okay, I've got 9 ones and 1 more. Okay, how am I going to do that? What am I going to do? Well, I've still got one group of 10, haven't I? Okay, I've still got a group of 10. I can't just write 10 in my ones column because it's still incorrect. I still need to exchange that 110. Because it's a whole 10, it's got to go in the tens column. So I now have no ones, but I do have a 10. I need to put that placeholder in, okay? Otherwise everything's going to just shift, isn't it? So I add up my tens and I need to remember that one that I've exchanged. So I've got 8 tens in total. Let's have a check with the formal method. 29 plus 51. 9 plus 1 is 10. So I've got no ones, but I have to put that placeholder in and I exchange my 10. Okay, and now I've got 8 in total. So I've got 2 matching answers. Well done, us. Okay, so this is your do it for today, year 3. You are going to have a go, and you know what I'm going to say. You know before I said it. You are going to do the pictorial evidence and you are going to do the formal written method. So when you send it in today, okay, I don't want to just see 54 plus 27. Okay, I want to see it written out in a pictorial form and then in column addition. Okay, because that is a skill in itself, being able to line up your columns properly. So pause it here and have a go at those 2 different things for each question. Okay, now I've put the answers like this. You should have your numbers, your digits in column addition. Okay, and when you send it in, myself and Miss Cullen and Mr. Kellum are looking to see that you can write those numbers in column addition. Okay, you've got to secure it here that we would like you to have a go at. And Michael has written a calculation, okay, and I want to know whether he is correct or not. Okay, and you've got that all-important phrase, explain your answer. Why is Michael correct or why is Michael incorrect? Again, it's showing that deeper understanding. If you can explain why something is right or wrong using the right mathematical language, that shows a really good understanding of what we're doing. And you've got to deepen it, okay? And you need to find the missing digit. So this is the work that we would like to see from you today. Okay, we would like to see your fantastic column addition written out really nicely and really clearly. Okay, imagine that you've got your maths book at school, okay, with all those squares, and that makes it nice and easy for you to line up your work, doesn't it? And lots of you probably haven't got that at home this week. Okay, but really try really hard to line up those columns. If you are lucky enough and you do have some squares, I used to say a little rhyme, and the little rhyme was, every child has a chair, so every number has a square. And that just reminds us that we need to put one digit in each squares when we are writing, and that really helps with column addition. So as I said, this is the work that you are going to be sending in today, and we are really looking forward to seeing those pictorial representations of the question followed by the written formal column method. Off you go, year 3.